Greetings everyone, here is Ludwig and this is the game War in the Pacific Admiral's Edition. This is my play-by-email match against KilRoy. He is the commander of the Allied forces and for me it is the Empire of Japan. This is now the last day of April 42 and we had in recently a smaller second carrier engagement, maybe this time with a better outcome for the Japanese side. There was a 1,000 pound hit on the Shukaku, but somehow failed to really inflict heavy damage, only very small surface. And the carrier is normally still ready for operation, but still I call back my smaller carrier fleet. It's too risky. Maybe next time there are more dive bomber, and this can end simply badly. I maybe must wait 1 or 2 weeks to really assembling a complete new carrier fleet. After the first engagement I lost 2 carriers heavily damaged back in port. I mean, heavily damaged is relative, but yeah. At least for 2 weeks out of action. And here are also more American submarines now near to the coastline. Here they intercept my battleship formation, Nagato Mutsu, going back. Luckily nothing really happens. My rowboats also source of South Australia, finding here a tanker, but somehow failed to really inflict damage. And nothing more. Maybe KilRoy also called back his surface fleet. He took Saipan, Guam and all of the islands around. But I still control Truk and Ishijima. So all the supply lines are under non-stop threat of my long-range Navy bombers. So it will be hard for him to maintain these bases. Yeah, I also concentrate here now on airfield attacks. Simply keep the damage up, that there's nothing to repair. Or at least no additional fort levels building up. Not too much damage, but every day. And the British also striking back. But still long range, half bomb load only, and not really direct damage. So all my reports only more or less wrong. Nothing for my Navy bombers to attack. Some patrol craft, some Dutch, I think, patrol craft, trying to keep the supply lines to Perth open. Now at also Raoul Island, east of Auckland. This base is in range for my naval transport airplanes, so I can more or less bring in supplies to this small island group and then airlift this to New Zealand. This is additional option for me to bring in supplies. It's really not much, but it will help maybe for defense, not for offense, striking and taking the islands. But at least it will help me to maybe survive a little longer. So singing next attack, and this time I am able to take it. Finally, nearly no casualties on my side, and the Chinese are now really broken. This is my counter-attack. My division arrived, taking on this New Zealand motorized infantry, and I have here clearly the advantage. This is all clear terrain, so easy to attack. So the New Zealand troops are more or less destroyed or retreating, but with nothing more left. And for me, it is really only some disabled infantry. And Quilin, also my forces arrived. And the first attack is a real already more or less victory. So he has no defense, one SP3 is destroyed on the ground. Allied forces are broken. And I still make here only bombardment to test how much KilRoy is bringing in. And at the same time, because these units are maybe still not digged in, they don't have fort level, so they are maybe more easy to be damaged by my bombardments. And my tanks, Source of Darwin, still trying to run down these Australian forces. I still cannot destroy them, I can only empty their table of equipment. And this is now also crossing the river against this British forward divisions, but they are trapped because I took away mole mine behind their lines, so they had no way to escape. And I pushed them simply. 3 are destroyed and 2 are running in the mountains. So at the end, nothing happened at the sea. Now we're really nothing special at the air war, but the land battles are all successful more or less for me. 2 major cities at the Chinese campaign fall to the Japanese, Quilin and Singing, and let's check air losses, very nothing really special. I'm not so sure why the SP3s are destroyed at the air. I thought they was destroyed on the ground, but naja, sometimes the game maybe have a problem. But at the end, 5 to 3, this has true numbers. This is maybe mixed up. Ship sunk, here nothing. There was nothing to see, so all my torpedo attacks failed. I took Singing, and the base is half destroyed. 60% is okay. Not the best outcome, but yeah, is just barely acceptable, I would say. I have a lot of forces preparing for the invasion of Sichuan. I took Berlin. I will simply rush here down and try to finish the southern area. I only realized that there's also really forces here in the mountains, so I don't know, maybe KilRoy try to simply walk here, bypassing and cut my troops from behind and taking here the city. So maybe I must get reinforcements to these cities. Yeah. We will see in the future. And Burma is still no land connection, but sooner or later. Nothing really else here to say. Oh, nothing to see. I think my carriers are under maintenance still. Ah, the light escort carriers here. Where's my main carrier? Ah, my main carriers are still on the way back. Need 1 or 2 days more. Philippines or Celebes Seas, South Chinese Seas, this is all already conquered. There's nothing left. My forces are still pushing here south. I don't know. I can maybe go to this base, Tenet Creek, and then I think this is the maximum I can go. I have really only these 2 tank forces left to operate. And this unit I normally must call around because it's part of the 56th division, and I want to create this division, so I can also not use this one more. I have less and less attack value I can go. And Darwin is the only port I can supply, so this is all for this is a sideshow. Like North Africa. There's only desert and nothing more. Nothing to win really. So I was able to break this block force of the New Zealand troops. I have 2 more divisions coming, so I maybe wait for these 2 guys link up, and then I can go with 3 divisions on Hamilton. Because in Hamilton is now only these broken American forces or Australian forces. And here are also a bunch of New Zealand troops, but I'm not sure how strong they are. I have another block force here, trying to only keep Gisborne open. And then maybe once I can get supplies here in, more supplies. I mean, much more supplies. I have here barely enough. But this is why I have this base now. In the future, I can simply fly supplies to Gisborne. And at the same time, I mean, this is maybe enough to keep these forces in defense mode. Okay. In the long run, I of course need some more forces here. I need the air HQ first. That is the number 1 priority. And more supplies. So, I mean, all of this is I don't need the air HQ if I don't have supplies. So I must take them more or less the supplies in the air HQ from Numaya, bring it here. But if I take this air HQ, then I have really no backup force, and this is normally always so risky. If there's something happening at this moment, then it would be shitty. Yeah. So far it looks good. Here are American forces, but these are only cargo ships going in, going out, or cruiser mine layers. No heavy battle forces. I think we both are a little tired and damaged, and must we return to port. I don't know more if I have here anything. No. Only mine cleaning ships and some tanker or AOs trying to bring in fuel to the space. At the same time, yeah. So more Navy Guard units coming up here, only for defense or counter measurement. And this is all broken stuff trying to return. The battleships are still under repair. 2 battleships or battle cruisers. These are only battle cruisers. So 2 are nearly finished. Then I have a little more surface power. And these are the 2 carriers are only lightly damaged. And the heavy cruiser. So Shukaku must here only stay for maybe 3 days if I go full. And at the same time, in the Kobe, the 2 fleet carriers are still under repair and maintenance. At least 2 weeks. Good. I think next turn I go maybe a little more information about the may. I can also show it now. So I talked about this last time already. I could now go for air factory and take now here any factory I want. It's an 8 factory. And now I can build the Helen 2A directly. It's a I don't know even must start with the Helen 1A. I can go directly for Helen. Oh, no. I'm already at that. This was a mistake. I want here's a Helen A1, and it's already producing this. I mean, I built these factories, but I don't produce this because I don't want the 1A. Now I can more or less tell the system go for 2A. Now it's a 2A. Still nothing changed because it's in the upgrade chain or loop. And now I can say production start. Now I will produce 1 airframe per day from Helen 2A. Good. And at the same time, of course, my R&D trying their best to rush for the 2B. This is the final edition. Once this is done, all these factories I can use for other R&D. Maybe this, if this airframe is done, I can put all of these airframes or maybe in the Frank to have more additional R&D tools going for Frank. I think Frank is the most important land-based army fighter. And the Key 83 also is, but I have already 3 tools. I don't know if I must go much higher with this. Maybe one more, because this is more or less like the Japanese P-38. High altitude, long distance fighter. But not so much for escort duty, I think. But we will see. Maybe one day we will see. Good. Thank you all. See you next time. Take care. Bye bye.